What would you do if a stranger's entitlement turned a carefree summer day into a nightmare for your children? It was a sweltering July afternoon, the kind where the air shimmered with heat, and the community pool at Willow Creek was a haven for every kid in the neighborhood. My 3 kids, Lila, 12, Ezra, 10, and little Mia, 6, were splashing in the shallow end, their laughter mingling with the hum of cicadas. I sat on a nearby lounge chair, half watching them, half lost in a book, grateful for a moment of peace. The pool was crowded but joyful, a mosaic of families escaping the summer blaze. Then she appeared, Karen. Karen wasn't her real name, of course, but it fit like a glove. She stormed through the gate, her oversized sunglasses perched like a crown, her son Tyler trailing behind her. Tyler, a lanky boy of about 11, clutched a pool noodle, his expression sullen. Karen's voice cut through the chatter like a siren. "Tyler needs space," she announced, as if the pool belonged to her alone. Heads turned, but most parents ignored her, used to her theatrics. She'd been a fixture at Willow Creek for years, always demanding special treatment for Tyler, who, in her eyes, was destined for greatness. I didn't pay much attention at first. My kids were sharing the pool just fine, taking turns with the diving board and playing a clumsy game of Marco Polo. But Karen's gaze locked onto them, her lips pursing into a thin line. She marched over to the lifeguard, a college kid named Jake, and pointed at my children. "Those kids are hogging the shallow end," she said loudly enough for everyone to hear. "Tyler needs it for his swimming practice. He's got a competition next month." Jake, bless his heart, tried to reason with her. "Ma'am, the pool's for everyone. There's plenty of room." But Karen wasn't having it. She crossed her arms, her voice rising. "My son deserves to train without distractions. Those kids are too loud." I felt a prickle of unease but stayed quiet, hoping she'd tire herself out. My kids, oblivious, kept playing, their giggles echoing. Then it escalated. Karen whipped out her phone, dialed 911, and put it on speaker for maximum effect. "Yes, I'm at the Willow Creek pool," she said, her tone dripping with indignation. "There are some unruly children harassing my son, and the lifeguard's doing nothing about it." My jaw dropped. Harassing? My kids were just swimming. I stood, ready to intervene, but the other parents were already murmuring, casting sympathetic glances my way. The cops arrived within 10 minutes, 2 officers, looking more annoyed than alarmed. Karen rushed to them, gesturing wildly. "Those kids," she pointed at Lila, Ezra, and Mia, "are bullying my Tyler. They won't let him use the pool." The officers, a seasoned woman named Officer Ruiz and a younger man, Officer Patel, exchanged a glance. Ruiz approached me, her expression neutral. "Ma'am, can you tell us what's going on?" I explained calmly, my voice steady despite the knot in my stomach. "My kids are just playing. They're not bothering anyone. She's upset because she wants the pool for her son alone." Lila, sensing the tension, clung to my side, her wet hair dripping onto my sandals. Ezra and Mia stood nearby, wide-eyed, clutching their pool floats like shields. Officer Patel turned to Karen. "Ma'am, is there any evidence of bullying?" Karen faltered, then doubled down. "They're in his way. Tyler's a prodigy, and he needs to practice." The officers surveyed the pool, dozens of kids splashing, none of them remotely aggressive. Ruiz raised an eyebrow. "Ma'am, this is a public pool. Everyone has equal access." Karen's face reddened. "This is outrageous. I pay taxes," she shrieked, as if that entitled her to the entire facility. Tyler, meanwhile, stood off to the side, looking mortified. I felt a pang of sympathy for him, didn't ask for this. But then came the twist, the moment that shifted everything. A woman I hadn't noticed before stepped forward from the crowd. She was older, maybe in her 60s, with silver hair pulled into a neat bun and a quiet authority that made everyone pause. "Officers," she said, her voice clear and firm. "I'm Margaret, the pool committee president. I've been watching this situation for weeks. This isn't the first time Karen's caused a scene." She turned to Karen, her gaze unwavering. "Last summer, You tried to reserve the pool for Tyler's birthday party without permission. The summer before, you demanded we close the deep end for his private lessons. We've had enough. The crowd went silent. Karen's mouth opened, then closed, like a fish out of water. Margaret continued, I've already spoken to the committee. Your membership is under review for violating our code of conduct. The weight of her words hit like a thunderclap. Karen, for once, had no retort. Tyler tugged at her arm, whispering, Mom, let's go. But she ignored him, her face a mask of fury and humiliation. The officers, clearly done with the drama, issued Karen a warning for misusing emergency services. Next time, ma'am, there'll be a fine, Ruiz said before they left. Karen grabbed Tyler's hand and stormed out, muttering about lawsuits. The pool slowly returned to its lively hum, but the air felt heavier, the joy tainted. I thought that was the end of it. My kids went back to playing, though Lila kept glancing at the gate, as if expecting Karen to return. I reassured them, but the incident lingered like a bruise. A week later, I got a call from Margaret. Karen's been banned from the pool, she said matter-of-factly. The committee voted unanimously. Her behavior's been an issue for too long. I felt a mix of relief and unease. Justice, sure. But at what cost? Then came the part no one saw coming. A few days later, I ran into Tyler at the local library. He was alone, flipping through a comic book, his shoulders hunched. I hesitated, then approached. Hey, Tyler, I said softly. You okay? He looked up, his eyes tired, older than any 11-year-olds should be. Mom's not handling it well, he admitted. She says it's my fault we got banned, that I didn't try hard enough at swimming. My heart sank. I'd been so focused on my kids, on Karen's absurdity, that I hadn't considered Tyler's side. He wasn't a prodigy, just a kid caught in his mother's obsession. It's not your fault, I told him, meaning every word. You deserve to enjoy the pool like everyone else. He gave a small nod, but the sadness in his eyes stayed with me. Summer faded, and the pool closed for the season. I heard through the neighborhood grapevine that Karen had moved away, taking Tyler with her. No one knew where they went, but rumors swirled Karen blaming everyone but herself, Tyler withdrawing further. I couldn't stop thinking about him, about the weight of a mother's expectations, about how a single moment of entitlement had spiraled into something so much bigger. My kids still talk about that day, but not with laughter. Lila, always the perceptive one, asked me recently, Mom, why do some people think they're more important than everyone else? I didn't have a good answer, only a hope that she'd grow up knowing fairness isn't about demanding more, but about sharing what we have. As for Tyler, I hope he finds a place where he can just be a kid, free from the shadow of his mother's demands. The pool will reopen next summer, but it won't feel the same. Karen's gone, but the lesson remains. Entitlement can ripple outward, hurting those we love most. And sometimes, the bitterest endings aren't the ones we expect, the ones that leave a child carrying a burden too heavy for their small shoulders. ND.